One of the most renowned mangakas just got caught supporting AI, and it is not a good look. Let's go ahead and break it down. Mangaka Inio Asano, forgive my pronunciation, it's basically a meme at this point. Author of one of the most controversial and beloved mangas, Goodnight Poon Poon, was quoted as following: "Mangaka are not allowed to use AI, but using AI would actually drive up the quality by a mile. Maybe it would be better to start drawing after they lift the ban." He was quoted as saying, "Right now, publishers are not in a position where they can overtly say that they allow AI use." Asano comments, "It's a strange situation. You're not allowed to use it precisely because you're a professional." He explains that while there are several reasons why Vagina Into the Deep was put on hiatus until 2027, the manga scene's current attitude towards AI is one of them. He goes on to say, "In the current state of things, mangaka are not allowed to use AI, but using AI would actually drive up the quality by a mile. So doesn't that mean it would be best not to draw the manga now? Maybe they suddenly lift the ban on AI next year, so it might be better to start drawing after that happens. I'm currently on standby in that sense." Asano says, though he didn't elaborate if or to what extent he hypothetically plans to use AI, he said that using it could significantly speed up the modeling process. This is huge because this is probably the first time we've seen a mangaka openly support AI use. Like I said, it's not a good look. A lot of people on Twitter or X had a lot of feelings about what Asano was saying, so let's break down some of their comments. From my understanding, from reading the article, Asano is using AI to help him quickly set up environments in 3D space, without him having to do every single one. I personally, as an aspiring artist and AI hater, LOL, think this is the proper use of AI in my opinion. We had other people saying that that article is a little disingenuous when mentioning generative AI in the discussion with Asano, as the translated quotes don't mention generative at all. But again, I'm gonna hold my tongue if Mujina comes back with lame-ass soulless AI-generated art. And that, of course, got a response saying, "The interview comes from a TV program or something like that." But before this quote, he talks about Sora and other Gen AI platforms getting blacklisted, so 100% about generative, to be honest. And then, of course, we had kind of responses that were not in good faith. Like this one that states, "Can't draw and write good manga, uses 3D models, photography, and now AI. Is Inio Asano the worst mangaka ever?" Yes! Inio Asano has always been a fraudulent, fraud-ass AI user. Get him out of here. Never understood folk who loved his works. And then finally, we have people calling for other people to drop his current manga. Drop the series, everyone. Fuck Inio Asano. I had a whole collection of his stuff, but now I'm just feeling like burning them. Fucking dickhead. I think whether or not you fall into the camp of believing that he has good intentions with his AI or he doesn't is kind of irrelevant because this is a larger topic. AI use in general is highly frowned upon, especially within the arts, and steals from everybody's collective works. And it would be stealing from collective works because you have to feed into AI for it to learn how to do anything. But a mangaka openly supporting that and using that on such a high level as Asano, look, I love Goodnight Poon Poon, but after he is openly saying, "Hey, I'm gonna hold my current series hostage until the attitude shifts on AI," that is absolutely ridiculous, and I can understand if anybody wants to drop any of his work and not support it going forward. Look, I don't know where you guys are or what your political views are. We try not to do politics on Big Time Weeb Dad because we're talking about anime, and although anime can be inherently political, we keep this a safe space for everyone. But right now, AI data centers in my neck of the woods are a huge conversation, and we are seeing that these data centers are depleting our resources and really just putting a strain on the environment. So for a mangaka, a professional renowned mangaka coming out and saying, "Hey, I'm not going to release my series until you approve of AI use," I find that kind of ridiculous, and I would hope that this interview was taken out of context, but from what we're seeing right now, I don't believe it was. I believe Asano truly believes that AI is just a tool. And look, Big Time Weeb Dad is not the most innocent person in the world. Have I used generative imagery before? Yeah, I have. But Big Time Weeb Dad is not a millionaire mangaka who has one of the most renowned works in all of history and the resources to continue to create these really renowned pieces of art without using kind of predatory applications. I think it really is about the intent and where this will go if this does become the norm. I really hope this doesn't usher in a new wave of AI mangaka, because that would just suck. Anyways, that's all I have for you in this video. Let me know how you're feeling about Asano saying that AI is the wave. Let me know how you're feeling about people defending him or people saying to drop his work. Where do you stand? Comment that down below, and thanks for watching. If you liked this video, feel free to subscribe or like or maybe even hype it. I don't know. I'm Big Time Weeb Dad, and I'm out.